Now today's class is all about Fresh Store Builder. Fresh Store Builder version 7 is actually being released exactly 1 hour from now, which is why I am hosting this special webinar at 10 o'clock in the morning today. I have a lot of cool things I want to talk to you about today, and this isn't just going to be some kind of boring slideshow sales presentation or something like that. I have real training to give you guys today, and I'm going to be showing you a couple of slideshows to give you a bit of an overview of what we'll be talking about, but then I'm actually going to be pulling up a live Amazon site that I built using Fresh Store Builder and also showing you some hands-on examples today. And then finally, at the end of today's class, Fresh Store Builder 7 will actually become available to the public, and I'm going to be talking to you about my extensive 11-part video training series that I have created for Fresh Store Builder. Before I get to that, though, I want to talk about a number of different aspects of Fresh Store Builder, and more specifically, how you can actually use Fresh Store Builder effectively. This is going to involve things that you can avoid to simply not have to worry about particular problems that can sometimes plague Amazon websites or just websites in general that might be built using some form of automated software. I'm also going to talk to you about effective site building with Fresh Store Builder. And then we're going to go into a number of different aspects beyond the basic stuff, beyond normal content and search engine targeting. We're going to talk about some other ways that Fresh Store Builder actually helps you market your Amazon sites. And then finally, we're going to be talking about product bundling and some of the unique keyword targeting opportunities that this can offer to your websites. So to begin with, I want to talk to you about what to avoid. With Fresh Store Builder, you can actually use this software to create Amazon sites in a ton of different ways. And even if you don't use Fresh Store Builder, if you're using some other kind of Amazon software, this same kind of stuff still applies no matter what Amazon software you might be using. In particular, the first thing I want to talk about is showing Amazon descriptions. I put this in quote marks because this is what Fresh Store Builder calls it. When you're doing the quick setup for a new website where you're installing this software to get started with it, and you get to step number 2 where you have your store settings, you have this Show Amazon Descriptions option available for you. I highly recommend to not check this box at all. The reason why is because this information is coming direct from the Amazon website. Using this kind of content on your own Amazon website presents a couple of different problems. You first of all have the issue of trying to get good search rankings when Google can plainly see that your website contains the exact same description for this product that tons of other websites and even Amazon itself has. Beyond that, though, in recent years, Amazon has actually been cracking down on affiliates for using automated software to completely generate product pages. So they can actually look at a site that an Amazon affiliate is running, and if they see that everything on that website is content that has come straight off of the Amazon site, there's a pretty good chance that they will end up suspending that affiliate. I have heard from many affiliates over the last couple of years that have experienced this problem themselves and have actually been suspended. And they've contacted me because I promote creating unique content websites. It's something I've been promoting and trying to encourage people to do for 6 years now publicly. And just recently, in the last couple of years, all the things that I've kind of been warning people about have really been starting to come into play. So it's even more important now than it ever has been. The only reason that I could recommend leaving this turned on and actually showing the Amazon descriptions is if you are planning on going back into these product pages and adding a pretty substantial amount of your own unique content to go along with it. I have Amazon plugins of my own that I've created that build advertisements, and those ads will sometimes utilize these Amazon descriptions. The big difference, though, is that those are just ads that take up a small portion of the overall page, whereas using default settings and letting Fresh Store Builder do 100% of the work for you might seem like a really quick and easy way to make an Amazon site, but all the content and everything that you're offering there really has nothing special going for it, and again can get you into trouble with Amazon and Google. So as long as that description would only be a tiny portion of what those pages would really contain as far as content, you could leave them on there. Otherwise, if you're not planning on adding a lot of unique content, maybe you're just wanting to add in a quick paragraph or two, you may want to avoid using these descriptions completely, or go into them and heavily modify the content that Amazon is providing you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about doesn't require an actual live demonstration here. This is 100% product websites. It's really easy to take software like Fresh Store Builder and use it to generate a complete website for you, to where everything on your website is nothing but a product page. You might have hundreds or even thousands of different products that you promote on your website, but beyond those product review pages, there's really nothing else to your site. Now, there could be some limited examples maybe where a 100% product review website could actually work out. However, you would really need to have very extensive, in-depth product reviews that you would obviously be writing yourself or outsourcing to get written for you to really make an effective website like that. To give you a quick example of what I'm talking about, this right here is a Fresh Store Builder website that I've created, but this is only a small portion of that website. However, I have seen tons of Fresh Store Builder websites created by other affiliates, and even Amazon websites created with software other than Fresh Store Builder that basically looks just like this, where the homepage is nothing but a listing of products that are available for sale, and then all the other pages on that website are nothing but individual product review pages for each of them. This kind of just gives your overall website a bad appearance from the get-go. Not everybody wants to land on the homepage of a website and instantly feel like the only thing this site has to offer is something to sell me. People are generally looking for some kind of information or structure guidance to all of this when they're hunting down products or researching new information about a certain industry to try to figure out what products might be best for them. They want more than just a standard listing of products, and it looks a lot better when it comes to search engine rankings on top of that. Now, this also brings me to the next couple of points. Search engine rankings can be heavily affected by how you actually proceed with building a website using Fresh Store Builder. There is a feature in it called content spinning, and I highly recommend either avoiding using the content spinning completely, or if you are going to use it with caution. Don't just blindly spin content that you know you need to make unique because it's not something you wrote yourself, and just leave your website at that. This is what I call unchecked content spinning, where you're just kind of blindly letting the software do the work for you, and you're not really going back through it to make sure that it's readable or useful for the visitors that are actually going to your site. Now, this is the spin rewriter section of Fresh Store Builder, where you can actually use this spin rewriter service. It is something that you have to pay extra to even be able to use. Another good reason why you might just want to avoid it completely. But if you did want to use it, again, make sure you're doing so in moderation. Go back through all of the content that it's providing for you and make sure it's actually going to work. If it doesn't sound like somebody from an English-speaking country actually wrote it, if it doesn't make sense, if it's not going to be helpful and actually help you to land a sale, then it's really not going to be worth your time or effort to put together websites containing this type of content. Some people can get good results from spinning content. Others, it drives them crazy. I happen to be one that it just kind of drives crazy, and I just feel like it's not worth my time. I'd rather just learn about the product a little bit myself and write up a quick couple of paragraphs about it. Seems much easier to me, and I feel like it gives me a higher quality website as a result of it too. Now, the last thing, this kind of ties into some of the things I've already been talking about, and also some of the things I'm going to go on to talk about in the next part of this, where I'm going to talk about effective website building with Fresh Store Builder. And that is, you want to avoid creating a useless website. In a lot of cases, how I described, for example, a 100% product review website, unless you're, doing a crazy good job with those product reviews, you're really not creating a useful website. And ultimately, Google has been cracking down in recent years about letting useless websites get any kind of a decent place in the search rankings. I've personally always tried to make websites that actually are helpful to people, even when I am trying to simply sell something as an Amazon affiliate. However, there's been tons of affiliates out there that completely ignore that fact, and Google has definitely taken notice of this, and they have done something about it. And no matter what kind of changes or developments with software might come in the future, Google will always do something about removing the useless websites from their rankings. They actually employ a huge team of people that goes through and manually checks their search rankings, and they manually check the websites that are ranking, for example, in the top 10. And one of the things they're looking for is really whether a website is useful to somebody, whether it's going to help them with whatever it was they were searching for. Because ultimately, that is the goal of a search engine, is it not? So you can't fight this kind of stuff. If you want to have a website that is successful long term, to where you can build a website and 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, it's still getting traffic every month. You don't have to do hardly anything to it except maybe go back once a year and make sure your products are up to date that you're promoting. And then it just sits there and collects traffic and earns commissions for you on autopilot. That's the ultimate goal for pretty much any Amazon affiliate. The bad part is that to get there, sometimes it's not quite as simple as the average sales page might lead you to believe it is. It's not as simple as just clicking a couple of buttons and waiting for it all to happen. You have to put in some effort to make those things happen, and then you get to sit back and reap the rewards from it. So that's a large part of what I try to teach people in general with building Amazon websites, and that's also my major focus when it comes to building websites with Fresh Store Builder. While Fresh Store Builder could be kind of used in bad ways if you didn't know how to use it correctly, when you do know how to use it properly, it's actually a major time saver because it can automate a lot of stuff for you that normally would take an immense amount of time to do yourself. It's just really about knowing what you should do and what you shouldn't do so you can create these sites effectively using this software so you can reap the rewards from saving as much time as possible while still making a high quality website. Now that brings me again to my next point, which is something I've already been kind of talking about here, focusing on quality with your Amazon site building. There's a lot of ways that you could use Fresh Store Builder to create a low quality website, but you can certainly use it to create high quality websites too. And the features that are found in Fresh Store Builder can either help you do it better than you could doing it without this software, or it can help you to do it a lot faster while still maintaining that level of quality. Now, I mentioned to you earlier that I was going to be sharing an actual live website with you that I created with Fresh Store Builder. This is a small section of that website. This isn't my home page, but this is actually a section of my informational content that I have on this website. This entire page here, and in fact, every single page that is also linked from this page, they don't promote anything. There's no Amazon ads found. They're not product review pages. These pages exist to help make my website useful, to give something more to offer than just my product review pages. Some people might view this as a waste of time. Oh, well, creating a page on your website when it doesn't even promote a Amazon product, you're not going to make any money off of that page. Why would you even bother creating it? What I've been talking about as far as Google and Amazon enforcing this level of quality, or else they're just going to kind of shove you out of being able to do business in the way you would like to be able to. This lets you focus on what they are looking for. It also lets you help out your website visitors so you can make that connection with them, where if you can help them solve a problem or figure out something that maybe was confusing to them relating to the products you were trying to sell, you might solve that last problem that they were trying to clear up before they were ready to be making a purchase. Obviously, not everybody will be in that kind of a position when you help them out, but you're looking for a certain percentage of people to have it click when they are on your website and be like, okay, I'm ready to buy, and this is what I want to buy. You just need to be the guy that is there and has them on your website and gives them the information that helps to lead them along to those purchases. So this focusing on quality on your website helps you to achieve that. It also gives you a really easy way, at least compared with the alternative, which I'll talk about in a second, of getting search traffic to your website. A lot of these informational pages are based off of some kind of an informational keyword phrase. The average 100% product review Amazon affiliate site out there, though, is not going to be targeting those informational phrases. In fact, a lot of affiliates look at those informational phrases as a waste of time. They're absolutely not a waste of time. They're a middleman between that sale and the visitor. These are the problems that, or the questions that people have that they're trying to figure out before they're ready to be able to proceed on and buy, or at least a certain percentage of them are. This is also the way that I have basically based every single Amazon site that I've ever made that's ever made me a penny. So in my experience, this is the much more reliable way to do it if you want to be able to create your sites and then sit back and do nothing. Sure, you can build 100% product review page websites and constantly be putting advertising money into it to try to refer your sales. I don't like doing that. I don't use paid advertising for my Amazon websites, except for a very rare occasion when something really special comes along and I have a really good reason to want to actually pay to get traffic to it. Otherwise, I like my sites to get free traffic, but traffic that is very, very likely to be interested in buying what it is that I am promoting. This info content I've kind of already been talking about for the last couple of minutes. These pages that I was showing you before here, as I mentioned before, they're all informational content. They're designed to help and transfer people along from the search engine to your website and then finally to make a sale on Amazon. The reason why, beyond the fact that it makes your website helpful, the reason why you would even want to bother with this kind of thing, though, is think about this from search engine competition perspective. The average Amazon affiliate is obviously going to be focusing on promoting the products. You have certain industries of these products where the average affiliate instantly thinks about this industry when they are considering, okay, what kind of product could I try to promote? A couple of really easy things off the top of your head and something that basically everyone probably already owns and has in their home, a television. Other things like a computer. Your really popular mainstream electronics, especially, pretty much always fall into that kind of a category. If you're focusing just on creating 100% product review page websites, and you're trying to target one of those types of really high competition industries, you're going to be striking out more often than not. However, when you go after these informational phrases that relate to those really high competition products, you will often find that there are tons of these informational phrases out there that offer a really decent amount of traffic, but also really low competition to combine with that. So it gives you another way into that industry that generally might not be available. Even for a lower competition industry, it still offers you a much wider range of keywords that you could potentially target. It gives you a much wider range of content that you could possibly write on your website. So you really have benefits coming from all sorts of different angles as to why it is worthwhile to focus on quality and to also include a pretty decent chunk of informational content on your website when you compare it with the amount of product review page content you have. A lot of websites that I make will at least be 50-50 with info content and product review pages. A decent chunk of them, I would say 50% or more, have 2/3 informational content and maybe 1/3 product review pages. So a lot of times I'll even go heavy on the info content. Usually the higher competition the niche, the higher competition the product keywords are within that industry, then the more I will go for informational content. So I can target more of those keywords that are actually going to help bring in traffic to my website. Now, when it comes to creating your product review pages, you're obviously going to have some of them on your site. Even if you go really heavy on the informational content, you may still have 5 to 10 of these product review pages on your site, even at a minimum. So with this said, there are tons of different ways that you could really go about creating these product review pages within Fresh Store Builder. The two single most important things that I can tell you to change as far as the default way that this software will try to create these pages for you is to create the page, but then go back in and edit these two things, the title and the actual content, if you are having some kind of content generated automatically. What I mean by that, when I talked about showing the Amazon descriptions at the very beginning of this class, that's what I was referring to. That Amazon product description that comes from the Amazon website and can be pulled in and put on your product review pages, you need to be customizing that if it is being generated. Otherwise, you would really just have the title being placed there, and also all the description boxes would end up being blank. So you would need to fill in your own unique content in those areas. The product title is something that I want to talk about in a little more detail here. This is going to be something that's hopefully going to help you to understand why it's important to customize your product titles, and also why it's important to diversify your content and to have some informational content in addition to your product review pages. Now, this here is a fairly basic product review page. It actually is using most of the content from the Amazon website, and I just have a small amount of unique content here. I believe just this first paragraph here is actually my own unique content. This is actually a website that I haven't put as much work into it as I might normally put into the average Amazon site that I would create, because in a lot of ways this is for demonstration purposes. But the amount of content that you see here on the page, if it doesn't come from Amazon at all, if it's something that you're writing 100% yourself, this is really about all of the content you need to have on this page, as long as you have plenty of informational keyword phrases elsewhere on your site that are going to help to bring traffic into this page. Otherwise, if you're dependent upon your product title to get the search rankings for you and to bring traffic in directly to this page, you may need a pretty substantial amount of content, maybe even 1,000 words or more worth of unique content to really be able to get good rankings on a lot of those higher competition phrases. Yet another reason why I will put a decent amount of focus on my informational pages that I want to put on a website. Now, when it comes to customizing the titles of these pages, I want to use an electronics example here, simply because these are more popular than the average product that might be sold on Amazon. Despite the fact that this one particular type of product that I'm using for this example, there are so many different kinds and models and brands and sizes of the new high-def TVs that are out there that you don't have as much competition on these as you might have on some other electronics products. For example, let's say the Amazon Fire tablet, where you only have a couple of different versions of it. You're going to have an immense amount of competition on those product titles. But even with something a little scaled back from that, something that the average affiliate might try to select and say, hey, I want to try to promote this product or this type of product on one of my Amazon websites, I simply want to demonstrate to you why, in my opinion, it is more important to customize the title than it is to go with the default title that is provided for you. The title that is coming off of Amazon is obviously on the product page that you can see right here up at the top here. This title is what Fresh Store Builder is given access to through the API system. I can tell you this because I'm also a programmer and I've worked with the Amazon API system. So I know that this is the exact same title that is offered through that system and is also found on the public Amazon website. So with that said, not only does Amazon already have a page with that exact title on it, but other Fresh Store Builder users that create a page on their website to promote that same product, they will end up with the exact same title as you. But to go even beyond that, every single other piece of Amazon software, Amazon theme, Amazon plugin that is out there on the entire market, no matter what it is, would end up creating a product review page with that exact same title for this particular product. So with that said, you're gonna have a lot of pages out there already, no matter what product you select, that are using that title. There's a couple of different reasons why you don't want to be yet another one of the people using that exact same title. The biggest one is that unless you can beat Amazon with the amount of information that they are offering about a particular product. So you scroll through this page and you see not only the information that they provide about the product itself, but you also have to consider reviews that are going into this and even other content that is found, like similar products that are being promoted on that page. When a search engine looks at this page and strips it down to its basic text content, you have to ask yourself, is your website going to have more than the Amazon website promoting that product? If you can't beat out the Amazon website in terms of content, then your chances from the get-go of getting a top Google ranking for that product using that exact title that is provided by Amazon are honestly pretty slim, if not downright impossible. Customizing your title, on the other hand, might allow you to approach that product from a different perspective in terms of the keyword phrases that might be used to reach that product or a page using whatever title it is you decide to customize it into. There are a wide variety of different formats of titles that are used on the Amazon website. So unfortunately, there's no set formula that I could really provide as far as customizing the title goes. Some of them will be pretty detailed, like the one you see here on my page, where it has the brand in the title, where it has the model number of that product in the title, and it also fairly accurately describes the product in terms of what general type of a product is it. So while this one might be pretty descriptive with its title, you also have plenty of other products on Amazon that are very, very vague, where they might not be using the best possible keyword phrase that represents that product. They might not even accurately provide the model number or the actual type of product. Sometimes they don't even mention the brand name in the title of it. There's a whole bunch of different examples like that where you can simply look at what Amazon is providing and say, what else could I use for my product title that uses words other than what is found here in this title that might help me to get some different keyword phrases that I could rank for this same product. You don't have to completely avoid all the words found in the original title, but you would want to change it up so you get something different in one way, form, or fashion. That'll go a long way towards helping you to get better rankings, but on top of that, it also helps you to stand out from other people a lot better. Now, to give you an example of what I'm talking about here, if I put in the entire title of that product into the Google website to search for that, you can see scrolling through the results, this is the top 10 that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 10 results are basically using that exact same title. When you're just looking at this page, I don't know about you, but I'm much more drawn to something that I'm not seeing repeated over and over again. On top of that, though, you want to ask yourself why you're seeing that title repeated over and over again. Are these other affiliate websites that are using the title, or are they big brand type of websites like Amazon or Samsung here, the manufacturer of this TV? And then we have Walmart, and going on down Best Buy and eBay and so on and so forth. So a lot of the best ranking pages are not only using that exact same title, but they're also pretty big authority websites that are going to be hard to beat out if I don't have some kind of advantage over what they are offering. So a lot of times the product that you find on Amazon, the title that's being used might even be repeated by that manufacturer when they set up their listings and provide information to all kinds of other retailers. So beyond Amazon and other Amazon affiliates, you may even have tons of other national retailers that you would end up competing with by using that exact same title in your page. Now, as far as actually customizing your product title, it's really pretty easy to do. When you are going to add in a new product through the Fresh Store Builder system, you just go to this product finder where you can search for whatever it is that you're looking for. And then you just click on the plus button to add one of these products to your website. So this one here, Crucial BX 100. I'll go ahead and click on the plus button and I will add this into my site. Then I can go back in and actually look at everything that I have created in terms of these product review pages. So I go to view all products now, and I should be able to find my Crucial. It looks like this is it here. So now that this has automatically been created for me and pulled into the Fresh Store Builder system, it is a standard product review page that I can then go in and edit. So I can now edit the title and make it say whatever I want to. If it's really vague like this one is, then maybe I can provide a much more specific title. If it's really, really specific, I might try to actually get a little more vague with it and target somebody who might not know the name of the product or might not know the exact brand that they're looking for. They might just be searching for something based on what it is. All the Amazon descriptions that I was talking about, I set this particular site to not use them, so these boxes end up coming in blank. So I would simply go in here and add in my own custom content to go along with that product. Now, just because all you're seeing here is the title, it doesn't mean that Fresh Store Builder isn't doing anything as far as creating these pages. There's actually a lot more to the page. It can show customer reviews. It has images for the product, and you can actually pick and choose from which of these images you want to display on your website. You have things like the price, the buy now button, shopping cart, a whole bunch of different other things that are incorporated into Fresh Store Builder that you don't have to worry about. All you have to focus on is pretty much the title and the actual text content that you want to put in to that page. Now, the last thing I want to talk about having to do with effective site building with Fresh Store Builder is structuring your content. You could easily create a Fresh Store Builder website where you just plop all of your pages on, and you have some of them product review pages and others that are informational content, and ultimately, none of the pages really have any kind of structure to them or separate meaning going along with it beyond just the title of the page and the fact that it might be linked up to your homepage. Well, to help out my website visitors and to also help out search engines to give me better rankings, I try to create some kind of a structure or hierarchy system with my website that organizes all of my content. This is the homepage of my demo site that I built for Fresh Store Builder. And this is not something that is a default feature in Fresh Store Builder. This is actually custom HTML coding that I have used to create this kind of a look here. But what this is doing is it's helping me to set my website apart from other sites that are created with Fresh Store Builder. And it also does the other things I was just talking to you about with setting me apart from the competition with search engines, to where I have all of this content on my site, but it's not just randomly thrown on there, it's organized. And this helps search engines decide what pages of yours are the most relevant and which ones might be more important than other pages. And this can go a long way with helping you to achieve better search rankings. So with that said, I have just one section of my site here that contains the different products that I have promoted. And then each of those links to an individual product review page. Whereas other sections of this section I already showed you previously, this is all informational content. And a lot of times this informational content will then end up linking up to one of these relevant product review pages. So that way, whether I'm getting traffic in through my homepage or through one of these main category pages or through a product review page or through my individual informational content pages, all of these pages still end up leading people back to the pages that are ultimately going to help me to make money. So I'm providing something useful. I'm providing something that is within the rules and the terms of what Google and Amazon are looking for, so I can have long-term success. So I'm just hitting all the right points as far as satisfying the companies that are out there and involved with your website and can be either detrimental to your success or the opposite. And then you're also hitting with the right points with the people that you need to actually buy these products so you can earn the commissions from them. It helps them to navigate your site easier, and it helps the search engines to figure out what content on your site is most relevant for certain search terms. It also helps to make just your individual articles more relevant by grouping them together with other similar types of content on your site. So this helps you win from all different angles. Now, going beyond search engines, if you just build a standard type of Amazon affiliate site, you might only focus on search engines. And while that can deliver enough traffic to your site to make it worthwhile to build, I've had plenty of websites that exist solely 100% on search engine traffic. It doesn't mean that a website can't do better if it gets traffic from additional sources. So I really like how Fresh Store Builder helps you to bring in additional traffic. And this is especially the case with Pinterest and Facebook. Now, I also have YouTube videos mentioned on here. However, this is not necessarily a built-in feature of Fresh Store Builder, but more or less something that I wanted to briefly mention as I go through this. Now, I'm not going to be going into a lot of detail here with Pinterest and the system that's available in Fresh Store Builder for it, and also the same for Facebook. But it's worth mentioning that any of these product review pages that you create within Fresh Store Builder, you can easily hook up your website to where you can then go through and create pins on Pinterest for each of your product review pages. And you can also have these products automatically put into a Facebook store and or automatically posted to a Facebook fan page, for example. So all of these different marketing angles that it lets you tap into with a relatively low amount of work, especially compared with what it would take to go through manually and post each of your product pages to Pinterest and then go through and share these pages to your Facebook page every time you go through and create something new on your website. So it's a matter of saving time and helping you work more efficiently. And a lot of times this can help you to do things that you might not ordinarily try to do. You might just say, posting to Pinterest, I don't know if it's really going to benefit my site or not, so I'm not going to bother with putting the time into it. Well, if it's something that you can do with 30 seconds worth of work after you create a page, it oftentimes becomes worth a gamble of actually being worth your time to do something like that. Now, just to give you an example of the Pinterest system, when you have your product review pages on your site, you can simply pull any of them up within Fresh Store Builder, like you see here on my screen. You have the title of your product review page that is automatically pulled in. So again, another important reason why you should be customizing these, because it can help you with people that are searching for stuff on Pinterest and on Facebook too, so you can have something different from what everyone else has. And then you can also provide a unique note to go along with it. So you can even help to build content on Pinterest boards, which you can create automatically through this system in Fresh Store Builder. You can select different images that you want to go along with the pins. It's really a pretty nice system to use. And then once you post something over, these are a couple of examples that I did a little earlier. Once you post them over to Pinterest, all you have to do is click on one of these and people can obviously access all of your content and even visit your actual product review pages on your site. Now, the last thing here that I wanted to mention was YouTube videos. This isn't going to really be for everybody, but for those of you that are comfortable recording your own voice at the very least, I would highly recommend trying to create some kind of a video to go along with product review pages, or even to go along with some of the informational content that you offer up on your site. These can not only help to reinforce your search engine rankings, but they can also help to bring search traffic directly from, say, Google straight to YouTube, which can then help bring in more traffic to your website. But you can also get quite a bit of traffic from YouTube itself. Most of the videos that I've published on YouTube, I actually find that YouTube delivers more traffic to me and more views on my video than Google even sends to me. So a lot of people search for stuff on YouTube itself instead of going to Google before being led on to a video. And they also have things like the recommended videos that are showing up in the sidebar. I've looked at the stats for quite a few of my YouTube videos and found that an overwhelming amount of the traffic comes from those different YouTube sources. So I'd highly encourage you to put some extra time into spicing up each of your websites to bring in some extra traffic beyond what you might ordinarily get from the search engines. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about with Fresh Store Builder, before I get on to talking about my 11-part training series that I've created for Fresh Store Builder, this final thing is product bundling. Product bundling is a feature that is built into Fresh Store Builder, so you can take advantage of this with ease, but it also helps you to have a selection of unique keywords that you can go after that you might not ordinarily be able to target, or at least not in a way that truly makes a lot of sense. I want to show you some examples of this so you can see exactly what I am talking about here. The product bundling system. Yeah, sorry about that. I think the connection disappeared for just a second. I believe it is back now. Okay, great. Everyone looks to be back okay. Sorry about that. Every now and again seems to kind of hiccup for a second. Creating a product bundle in Fresh Store Builder is pretty simple to do. It works just like, say, creating a product review page might, except it involves one extra step in that you're basically grouping a number of product review pages all together. So what I mean by that is you first go through and create individual product pages for specific products. Like I briefly showed you before, where you find the individual products, you search for them, you click the little plus button, and then you could even go back in and customize those product pages if you wanted to. Well, along with those individual product review pages, you can then also combine a number of these into these bundles. So it gives you a unique way of targeting products and targeting keywords relating to these products, especially in ways that might not ordinarily be thought of, or they just might simply be thinking outside of the box enough to where the average affiliate won't be going after that same keyword phrase as you. To give you an example, this previous product that I was showing you here, it's a solid state hard drive for a computer, obviously. I could have a website just promoting solid state hard drives. I actually do in fact have one just like that. But I could go beyond just having product review pages on solid state hard drives and informational content about them. And I could figure out, what do people sometimes buy along with a solid state hard drive? And then I can create product bundles centered around those ideas. So for one example, the first one here I wanted to mention, you have a main product with accessories that go along with it. So I could have a solid state hard drive, and it could come with a mounting kit that would allow you to put it into your computer. It could come with cables that might be necessary to install it. A lot of times with the main product and the accessory combination, you're being helpful to the end user. You're also increasing your sales amount by not just selling the main product, but getting the extra accessories bundled in with them. Even though they might be lower priced products, getting more sales like that, where you might be able to get one person to buy 2 or 3 products instead of just one product, that can help to increase your Amazon sales volume, which in turn can help to increase the amount of commissions that you get off of each sale. So bundling, again, has advantages from a couple different perspectives. The other main type of bundle that you can do is to basically bundle multiple, what you might call main products together when they are used together for a very specific purpose. That way, that specific purpose, whatever it might be, that becomes the keyword phrase that you're trying to target for that particular bundle to try to get it sold. So here as an example, this create a new bundle is for building your own gaming PC rig. I could promote solid state hard drives through this product bundle, but it would not be the only product that I would promote with it. A solid state hard drive by itself, or even an individual page talking about building your own computer or building your own gaming computer, I could have a whole bunch of individual advertisements on that page, but wouldn't it be a lot more appealing to my visitors and a lot simpler to them, and also a lot more profitable for me if I could just have one single advertisement on that page that was a package of all of the different parts and components that they would need to build a particular gaming computer? Maybe actually one that I had built for myself as an example, to where I could give them some real life examples of how it performed. There's all different ways that you could try to approach these product bundles like that. And it's pretty simple to take care of in the Fresh Store Builder system. All you're doing is providing your title, providing content to go along with it. This again will help you to get the search rankings for the keyword phrase that you want to go after. And then the other main thing that you really have to do is just simply find the products on your site that you want to add to the bundle. And then I could add in my solid state hard drive. I could add in my RAM. I thought I created one already on there. Anyways, I guess I don't have the products created for the different aspects of that yet. Again, that's something you do have to actually find and add in to your website before it'll let you bundle it up with it. But a solid state hard drive, a video card, a CPU, a keyboard, a monitor, a motherboard, so on and so forth. I could easily have 10, 15 different things that go in that one particular bundle, and that would be a really amazing sale to refer on Amazon, especially compared with just referring a sale here and there on a solid state hard drive. Beyond the fact that it's a great sale, though, it gives you unique keyword targeting opportunities, different ways that you can have other kinds of content on your website, and even appeal to different types of customers. Now, the last thing tonight is my 11-part video training for Fresh Store Builder. I have actually created an entire series, a video series, where I walk you through the creation of a complete Fresh Store Builder website from start to finish. On top of that, though, I also have some videos in this series that are designed to help you create automated software websites better, to help you with search engine rankings, to also help you succeed long-term with Amazon on top of that. And finally, there are also videos as part of this series that exclusively detail the new features that are found in Fresh Store Builder version number 7, which is just releasing 5 minutes ago, basically. So I've just provided the link here that you see on my screen I just punched this into the chat box for you so you can click on it and go and take a look there. This is actually a more in-depth review of the Fresh Store Builder software and also more complete details on this entire 11-part video training course. And it actually comes with a number of other bonuses too. 11 additional bonuses. So I'm only calling this 11-part video training course one bonus. There are 11 more beyond that one that I am including for anyone that decides to pick up Fresh Store Builder 7 through my link today. So just my bonus training alone that I am offering and the software that's coming along with it is more than worth the asking price of Fresh Store Builder 7. On top of that, though, you're also getting Fresh Store Builder. So you get the great software and you get the exact guidance to go along with it. Now, Fresh Store Builder, I was actually just about to mention that, Alice. Thank you. Fresh Store Builder is not WordPress software. It's not a plugin. It's not a theme. It's standalone software that can be used to create your entire website. However, it can also integrate with WordPress, at least to a certain extent, to where you can have both WordPress and Fresh Store Builder running on one website and have them have an integrated look. It's kind of hard to spot, but just to show you, when I flip from this page right here and go back to the home page of my site, this is running on WordPress right here, whereas this is running on Fresh Store Builder. They're both on the same domain name. I have one running in the base part of the domain, and the actual Fresh Store Builder section of it is running under a store subdomain. So you can certainly use Fresh Store Builder along with WordPress. However, you can decide to not use WordPress at all and just use Fresh Store Builder exclusively. Now, my complete 11-part video series. Just to briefly mention to you what all is contained within this. I mentioned before that I'm going to be talking to you about my personal recommendations for using the new Pinterest features, especially that are found in Fresh Store Builder 7, brand new set of features there that was not found in any of the previous versions. I talk about not just using the features in Fresh Store Builder, but also about getting your website set up and prepared to be able to use these features, and things like creating your Pinterest account and what you actually should be worried about as far as information that you're providing to Pinterest and how you can use that information to help bring extra traffic to your website as opposed to just blindly punching that information in. I'm also going to give you a complete walkthrough of building this website that I have been showing you guys, where I show you exactly how I did all of this. And this even includes 2 HTML code generators. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that this right here on my home page, that I used custom HTML coding to create this. I also showed you this page here where I have listings of informational pages. This was also done, everything except for this top bit of text. Everything below that down here was also done with custom HTML coding. You don't have to know HTML or CSS or any of that complicated programming stuff to be able to do this, though. I've created HTML code generators for you. So all you have to do is punch in the basic information. Like for right here, you punch in the URL for your image and the title and the page that you want it to point to, and it's going to spit out the code that you just copy and paste in the Fresh Store Builder, and boom, you have the looks that you see here on my screen. So same thing goes with this page. A separate generator is used to give you this look, so you can pick and choose and use whichever one fits what kind of look you want to get, or just what your personal preferences might be with creating these sites. And again, no need for any kind of technical knowledge for applying that or creating that. Beyond just teaching you exactly what to do with creating these websites using Freshstore Builder, though, I also talk about really why you want to create a site this way. And so I'm talking to you about what the most effective strategies are for using the Freshstore Builder software to create Amazon websites. I talked a lot about what Amazon is really looking for and what Google is really looking for in today's class, and this is something that I certainly go into much more detail about having to do with Freshstore Builder and building these websites. I have a few questions here that people have asked me. I wanted to go ahead and catch up and make sure all of these are covered because a number of them are excellent questions. Let's see. Alice is asking about Freshstore Builder a few years ago. Do I get an upgrade? I believe that specifically depends on what you may have originally purchased. I know they have different licensing options, and they do have some kind of an upgrade that allows you to get the future versions for free. So if you did purchase that upsell originally to go along with it, I want to say it was a yearly fee or something that you had to pay to be getting those upgrades to the new version. So unless you're a part of that, you may not have access to the new version. If you're not sure, just find your old access information for Freshstore Builder, log into your account, and it'll have access for version 7 in your account there if you are indeed eligible for it. So that's probably the easiest way that you can go about checking. Otherwise, you would want to go ahead and just purchase a new copy like a brand new customer would. As far as I've ever known and asked about exactly how pricing and everything works with that, it seems like when they do release a new version such as this, that you would need to purchase again, unless you get, again, the proper upgrade that would allow you to get those free upgrades. Now, one really good reason, if you're on the fence or you're not quite sure if you might have version 7 yet or not, or if you're not quite sure whether you might want to try Freshstore Builder, the launch that is currently going on that just started not long ago for Freshstore Builder version 7, it's actually only a 3-day limited time event. At the end of this 3 days, starting on January the 8th, at the end of January the 8th, so once the 8th is over, Freshstore Builder is actually disappearing from being a one-time price that you pay, and it's going to be switching to a monthly fee. It's actually not going to be very cheap afterwards either, $97 a month for 10 websites. So by purchasing before January the 8th, you do lock in your license before it's going to switch over to a monthly fee. So you just pay a one-time price that's actually less than that monthly fee that I just mentioned. And you never have to pay that again to be able to use Freshstore Builder 7 for as long as you want. I know earlier, Alice, you also mentioned about using Freshstore Builder with WordPress. I don't recall whether I said the second thing that I wanted to say about that or not. One of the upgrades for Freshstore Builder, if you buy it, you'll get offered a WordPress theme and plugin that allows you to integrate the look and also some of the features of Freshdoor Builder in with the WordPress system. While it is optional and you can still certainly run WordPress and Freshdoor Builder on the same domain name without that, for anyone that does want to use them together, I would recommend that particular upgrade because that theme allows you to maintain that same look like what I was showing you before here, to where the Freshdoor Builder part, like this is Freshdoor Builder here, and then this is WordPress, to where they still have the same look to them. That's really the most important part about the upgrade for that theme. Hara is asking about having Freshdoor Builder already as well. I guess it would be a question of whether you have version 7 or not yet. If you don't, you may need to purchase again to actually be able to access version 7. Again, that would come with my bonus training to go along with it and the rest of my bonus package that I've described to you guys and also have mentioned on this page right here. However, as far as just buying my training course separately, it's not something that I offer up for sale separately. And honestly, the asking price of Freshdoor Builder, if you just want it for the training, just go for the lowest license possible, the cheapest one on Freshdoor Builder. You pick that up, you're still going to get access to my entire bonus package, whether you get the least license available or the greatest license available. So it won't matter which option you decide to buy, you'd still get access to it. And the lowest price one, I think, is a pretty affordable option, especially considering the training that I do. Typically an 11-part video series that I might make, such as this, a lot of times I'll even charge more than what they're asking for the cheap Freshdoor Builder. Karen is asking also about having Freshdoor Builder already. She said she has Freshdoor Builder already and my course for building the sites from version 6. Ultimately, that base course from version 6 remains unchanged for version 7. All those features are still the same, and the way I recommend to build those sites is still the same. There are additional training videos that go along with that, though, and all but one of them exclusively focuses on the new stuff, especially Pinterest, that comes in Freshdoor Builder 7. So if you are still using version 6 and not planning on upgrading, and you have my old training on Freshdoor Builder, you really wouldn't need all the new stuff that I would be offering along with it. If you do already have version 7, for example, if you're on the Freshdoor Builder upgrade plan to where you do get the new versions for free automatically, to where you would have already had Freshdoor Builder 7 before today's class, I do not have a pre-planned way to make the extra training available for something like that, unfortunately. Maybe look at the cheapest price of it, like I had mentioned for someone else previously. See if the extra training would even be worth it for you or not at that cheapest price. If not, If you did get version 6 through me and you already have the version 7 upgrade and you just wanted to be able to access all the new version 7 training that goes along with it, I don't know, I guess you could send me a message to my support system, ryanstevensonplugins.com/support. I can't guarantee that I would have something ready to go today for that, but I could see what I could offer that for the people that might be in that particular situation. I wouldn't want to exclude you from being able to get the new training if you had purchased through me previously and you already have the version 7 upgrade for free. That's a good question also, Daisy. Daisy is asking, how many stores can you build with Fresh Store Builder? You can actually build an unlimited number of them. However, that can kind of depend upon what license you decide to choose. 2 of the 3 license options, it would be unlimited. The light option that they offer is not unlimited. I don't know the exact count of stores. I think it's 10 that they offer to go along with the light version, if I'm not mistaken, but that'll be stated on the sales page, which you can find linked from this page. For the middle option, which is pretty affordable still, and then even the most expensive option, both of those are for unlimited stores that you can build, unlimited domain names that you can use it on. Hara, what my affiliate number is on JVZoo, just to make sure that he's getting it through me, so he'll qualify and receive this bonus training. He says he sees 39754. That is correct, Joseph. Just in case anyone wonders what that is about, this is the page here that I had linked up on my previous screen. Any of the blue links here will take you to go and check out Fresh Store Builder 7. And you can double check and make sure that you are gonna get my bonus course to go along with it. Once you go to the buy page on one of these, you look all the way down here at the bottom in the terms of sales section. Your information will be provided to the vendor upon successful completion of this sale. 39754. That's not actually the vendor that's being listed there. That's actually the affiliate number that goes along with that sale. So as long as you see 39754 right here, then you can be confident that it is going through under my name and that you will get instant access to my bonus training course and the other bonuses that I have offered as part of this. Let's see, Hara and Karen. I know one of you has said that you're in Team Azon Pro. I believe Hara said that. Karen, are you in there too? I can, at the very least, I can make sure I get those additional version 7 videos put up in the members area there, since you guys do already have version 7 and you're just looking to get the new training on that. Might just be the easiest way to go about that, especially since I know at least one of you. And no, Salvatore, I don't believe upgrading to 7 from a 6 store requires a revamp. They did change the themes a little bit going with it. The new version, they made the new version themes much more mobile responsive than previous versions. And the upgrade process is pretty simple. I see a few additional people are also asking about just a special price just for my separate training. Um, I might publicly offer something like that. Either later this evening or tomorrow morning when I send out another email for Fresh Store Builder. Just look out for my next email or two, and I'll put something else in there for you guys that already have version 7 and don't want to have to just simply buy another copy. Nelly is asking, do any of these things that I mentioned use cron jobs? Oh, your site has issues with that. All of the Fresh Store Builder features that I've talked about do not require a cron job. I do not personally know of any additional features in the software that require a cron job, at least to my knowledge. It might be kind of like WordPress, where WordPress kind of uses cron jobs, but it also has it built into the system to where you don't have to really set up the cron job to have it run as long as you have some kind of traffic visiting your site. So he wanted to know how the Azon 30-day challenge integrates in with this training. How does it all work together? That's actually a really good question. What I teach in the Azon 30-day challenge doesn't necessarily have to be done the exact way that I teach it in that course in terms of using WordPress or using the exact software. What you would basically want to do is when you get to the point where you start installing the WordPress software and setting up your settings for that, switch over to the Fresh Store Builder training and then start setting up Fresh Store Builder instead. I would still go through not the WordPress setup portion of the 30-day challenge, but I'd still go through the other parts as far as the kinds of pages that you should be creating and simply apply that information to Fresh Store Builder. And again, my Fresh Store Builder training will show you how to take care of that stuff, but in this software instead. So it's really just substituting one software through for another. And all the same strategies and principles still definitely apply. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. Hope you are happy with Fresh Store Builder once you get a chance to get into it a little bit, and especially hope you enjoy my 11 part video training series to go along with it. So thank you once again. Shalane, that is a good question. She mentioned the page says the price is going up in 28 minutes. Is it really going up, or is it just one of those fake going up kind of prices? I believe that is actually real. Let me stop this video real quick and go take one more look for you, and I'll confirm that. The light license option, the cheap option, had started at $39.95 originally, and I believe it was at $40.04 previously. Now it's up to $40.05. So this one, for example, looks to be either going up as time passes or may even be going up after every certain number of sales. I can't say, this one still looks the same, so it might be talking about potentially the business license version. I mentioned earlier that the price would be going up in 3 days. That is true. However, the 3-day price increase that's going to be going on at the end of January the 8th, that's actually when it's going from a one-time fee to a monthly price. It's going to be changing over to $97 a month for 10 websites from that point on. And so there might be some price increases going on in the next 3 days, but they will just be increases with the one-time price. It won't be increasing to a monthly cost until January the 8th. Nelly, my bonuses do not involve talking about setting up cron jobs, unfortunately. Do you have issues with getting just the PHP script, for example, to run as a cron job? I've messed with those myself, not necessarily with Fresh Store Builder, but with WordPress and my own programming and stuff that I do beyond that. You also gave up with the cron jobs. Did you? Were you trying to use a cron job with Fresh Store Builder, Alice? Alice also. Oh, okay. What do you remember? What the cron job was for in Fresh Store Builder? I had never even noticed that it utilized a cron job. Not sure. Okay. It's a fairly simple process to do cron jobs. Just simply knowing what the cron job is, though, it's without knowing that, it's kind of hard to say exactly what you should do. However, if you're definitely positive that that was a cron job for Fresh Store Builder, I will guarantee within 24 hours from now, and by noon tomorrow on January the 7th, my 11-part training will become a 12-part training, assuming that there is indeed cron jobs. Okay, making calls for the updates. Awesome. Thank you, Salvatore, for letting me know that. Okay, yes, then I will definitely go ahead and confirm that. By tomorrow, January the 7th at noon, I will turn my 11-part training into a 12-part training, and I will include a lesson specifically on setting up those cron jobs in Fresh Store Builder. I know how much of a pain those can be, even after doing them for years myself. I even find myself sometimes making a mistake the first time that I do it and going back through. And I do an extensive amount of programming and stuff like that. So if they can sometimes trip me up, I could certainly see how those would be like a stopping point for a lot of other people. And I would certainly not want that to happen with you as a result of getting a fresh store builder and trying to go through my training and just simply finding yourself stuck. So I will definitely clear up that potential problem and include extra video training for that. The link that you get through JVZoo, after you purchase, you're going to get to a JVZoo page where it'll have a number of different boxes on the screen, and each box lists a different product that you've purchased, and then there's a button in that box to go and access the product. Well, that button then takes you to another page on JVZoo. A lot of times that page then tells you how to actually access the product. All the way at the bottom of that page will be a big blue button, and it'll say Ryan Stevenson's, I think for this one it says 12 bonuses or bonuses with 11-part video course, something to that effect. Click on that button, you will get the access link to access my whole course and all the bonuses that go along with it. That link, though, just simply bookmark that page. That's the page that I will add that additional training video onto. So it'll be included along with everything else there. So it won't be something you'll have to get a separate link for or anything like that. Pierre is asking about recording for this webinar. It will be posted on the page that you see on my screen right here. I punched this into the chat box a little earlier, just in case some of you may have joined since then. I know at least a couple of you recently said you had just joined and were asking about the recording too. So this page right here is more of an in-depth review on Fresh Store Builder. You can also go and check out the demos site that I've been showing you guys throughout this training class. And finally, the link to go and get a copy of Fresh Store Builder that will include all of my bonuses to go with it. Well, this page currently has 3 videos, 1, 2, 3. All the way down at the bottom of the page here, there will be a heading, says something like webinar replay, and I will have that video included down at the bottom of this page. That will happen approximately in 2 hours or so from now. So hopefully by 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I should hopefully get that posted up on the home on this page here. Chuck, that's a good question. He said he's a new member of Team Azon Pro. Would this be a good place to start? I assume you're talking about this being Fresh Store Builder, or should you just follow Team Azon Pro and pass on this? Okay, cool. I want to make sure I was understanding the phrasing correctly. It really kind of depends, Chuck. What I teach in Team Azon Pro, to kind of compare that with what is offered here in the training that I offer as part of this. Team Azon Pro, the site building courses that are in it, they solely focus on using WordPress and different plugins and software that might be able to connect up with WordPress. So with that said, any of the training that I teach in Team Azon Pro can certainly still apply to Fresh Store Builder. You just obviously would end up using a different kind of software, even though Fresh Store Builder and WordPress can be used on the same website together. With that said, though, the main difference for, say, a complete beginner, I think would be a matter of what you would find easier. I do feel like Fresh Store Builder removes a lot of the steps of the site building process that the average person might find to be a little more complicated, especially setting up your product review pages. That part really goes super fast with Fresh Store Builder, whereas teaching it manually with a WordPress system, which is what I do in T-Maison Pro, is definitely a more time-consuming process than this is. For a lot of people, though, it's a matter of personal preference, whether they like WordPress or hate it. Some people really don't want to use it anymore, and other people refuse to use anything but WordPress. So personal preference definitely plays a lot into it. As far as for a complete beginner, though, if you're looking for simplicity and looking to remove as many possible tasks that you really need to complete to build your site, I would be inclined to say that the Fresh Store Builder approach would be faster and more simplified, especially with the way I teach it in the training classes. Oh, you're welcome. Hopefully that was helpful for you and not more confusing. Nelly, a product table comparison tutorial. Does my bonus include this? No, unfortunately it does not. Trying to think of whether I have some kind of a training class like that. I know I've done training on table comparison, but it's more something that I believe I did for my plugin product style of WordPress plugin for Amazon ads, because it does comparison charts. I don't believe I've ever done anything specifically for Fresh Store Builder for that, though. I do like that idea for a suggestion. Might try to include that in a future version. June, that's a good question too. How do my training classes differ from the Fresh Store Builder trainer classes? In general, I find the classes on the Fresh Store Builder website to be more text-based. They do have some videos from what I've seen. Karen says awful. Wow, are they that bad? For some people, I've heard that they don't like maybe the accent, that it makes it more difficult to understand or follow along. It's definitely more of a simplified tutorial, a basic how to click this to do this kind of tutorials, whereas my training, while I'll tell you what to click to do a certain action, I try to talk about why you're doing those things so you really understand the whole process. So even if a year or two from now you decided to completely abandon Fresh Store Builder, you're still going to learn a lot of useful stuff in my training that will apply to any kind of a website you build, period. So in that regard, I definitely feel like it goes well above and beyond the basic stuff that's included with Fresh Store Builder as far as that training. You're welcome. Karen, there is a Fresh Bundle Master plugin. Do I address this in my new version 7 training? I do not, Karen. However, I have done training for Fresh Bundle Master before, and I wouldn't mind including it. I'm making a note for myself here, and I will add Fresh Bundle Master training to the download page for this within an hour or so of concluding this class, since I already have that one created. Sure, Nelly. I'll look into the product table comparison. I will see if I have of existing training that I have. I'll see if I have something relevant that I can include that'll still go along with Fresh Store Builder. And if I do, I will add that. That's fine, not a problem, Alice. I find that part a little confusing too. After you buy, Alice is asking where to get my class. After you buy, you will land on JVZoo. Let me see if I can pull up a similar looking page, even if I won't have the exact one. Give me just one moment. It's actually not a page. It's a page on the JVZoo website. You should get an email, and it'll be directing you to a page on the JVZoo website for your transactions. However, honestly, okay, there it is. I think I found it. I was going to say, I really don't know how to get to that page. It's not very often that I actually end up buying a product through JVZoo. So here we go. This is your My Purchases page on JVZoo. If you're logged into your account and you're on a different page, you should see a little link up at the top that says My Purchases if you're in like your vendor or an affiliate account. Otherwise, you might see something like this where you just have My Purchases here. customer.jvzoo.com/portal/purchases. If you also wanted to try to just get to this page directly, this will show you anything you've bought on JVZoo. So when you click on View Details, I don't think any of these are going to have the little bonus that goes with it. You click on View Details though, and all the way down at the bottom, below where you see the little Access Your Purchase area, there should be another section down here with a large blue button talking about Brian Stevenson's bonus or bonuses with the 11-part video series, something to that effect. So you just click on that blue link down at the bottom, and that'll take you to access my full bonus. Now, for some reason, if you go to the JVZoo page, just like I showed you, and you get to that page and there is no blue button at the bottom, it's possible you may not have purchased through my link, and so it might not have connected correctly. It's also possible that you might just be looking at a different option. Let me show you what I mean. For example, if I bought Fresh Store Builder and then I also decided to buy the WordPress theme that is offered as an upsell for it. On the My Purchases page, I would have one box for the Fresh Store Builder purchase, but I'd have another box for that extra upsell for the WordPress theme. You want to be viewing the actual Fresh Store Builder purchase, the initial one. It should say Fresh Store Builder version 7 or V7, either a light license or unlimited license or developer license, I believe, are the 3 different options. Should be one of those 3. Then you click on the green button. Then you scroll down and you look for the big blue button, not the little unsubscribe button here. It should be below this access your purchase area. Yeah, now as far as accessing Fresh Store Builder, it I don't think is going to be through this page. You'll be taken to a thank you page on the Fresh Store Builder website to access it. But this is where you go again to access my bonuses. My 12 bonus package that includes my 11-part video training series to go along with it. Nelly, that's a good brief question. Granted, I guess kind of off topic. For Amazon sites, you're asking how I secure them, talking about hacked websites. If you're using WordPress, while they do have all these different security plugins and stuff that are out there, I do 3 main things to protect myself. Number 1, I don't use a ton of different free themes and plugins and stuff like that on my website. I use a limited selection of them, plugins I've been using for a long time, plugins that are widely used by a lot of other people in most cases. And anything else that I'm not using, I make sure I delete. One of the most important things that I have found as far as that goes are the WordPress themes. Any WordPress site that I've ever had that actually got hacked, and it does happen, even to somebody that might try to take some extra precautions or might even know what to look out for with that kind of stuff. I've still had the occasional one happen. I actually just had it happen in December also. Ultimately, it seems like a bad coincidence that every time a really popular WordPress security plugin comes along, a new one comes and hits the market, it seems like a real coincidence that a lot of WordPress sites start getting hacked right around the same time. It's almost like someone connected with it, exposes, or maybe it just simply makes that vulnerability known to many more people, and then a lot of sites end up getting hacked as a result. Well, I find that the default WordPress themes, the 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, so on, those, not necessarily all of them, but some of them seem to have a security vulnerability in them. Every time I've ever had a site get hacked, whether it was last month or a couple of years ago was the previous time that I had anything like that really show up, every time it was because of that theme. That was the way they gained access, because obviously I like to know how they're getting in. I go and check out a lot of details about that kind of thing, and obviously try to share information with my customers when that kind of stuff comes up. I made a post on T-Maison Pro a couple weeks ago about that, actually. So the number one thing I would recommend to do is try not to use the default WordPress theme. Use something else, and then actually delete the default themes from your website completely. Keep your software up to date. Using a SSL certificate can also be beneficial in my experience. While I can't guarantee that it would prevent you from getting hacked in all cases, every WordPress site that I've ever had that has successfully gotten hacked was on one of my servers or hosting accounts where I was not utilizing an SSL certificate. My dedicated server, where I have an SSL on it, I've never had a single website hacked on it. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it actually does provide some kind of protection. I can't say for sure with that part. The other things, though, the WordPress theme, the default WordPress themes, I can say that with 100% confidence that that's how they gained access. So I think it's worth just deleting it. I like to use Weaver Extreme when I use WordPress. Even if you have some kind of other preferred theme, that's quite all right too, as long as it's not one of the default ones, in my opinion. In June, is it possible to convert a WordPress site for a store builder site? Yeah, it certainly is. It would really depend on how extensive your site is as to whether or not it would be worthwhile to do. You'd probably have to do all the transferring manually to where you just create new pages in the Fresh Store Builder system and basically just copy and paste your content over. However, depending on what you currently had on your WordPress website, you might be able to just leave everything as it is and set up a Fresh Store Builder site and start building that in basically a subdirectory of your site and have it all interconnected. Something like that, if you had more of an informational-based website currently and you wanted to use the WordPress side of your site for the informational content, and then you want to set up Fresh Store Builder in a subdirectory and use that to create your product review pages, that's certainly a strategy that works out. I actually discussed that briefly, at least in my training series. Oh no, it's not an Amazon affiliate site. Okay, if it's not an Amazon affiliate site, you could still use Fresh Store Builder. You don't have to create product review pages on it. You can just create standard content pages, what I use for my informational pages that I teach in my training series. So all you would really need to do as far as that goes is just create a new informational page in Fresh Store Builder and copy your content from WordPress over to it. In most cases, that content should still, work out just fine, just straight copy and paste without any adjustments. It could depend on what exactly you have on your website, though. It's okay, June. It really doesn't matter either way, whether it was or not. You could still either copy and paste over or just use them together. Sure, Rhonda. Rhonda's asking, could I explain what the upsell for $67 is? Let me see if I can figure out which offer that is real quick, and I might be able to give you some more information. Oh, the first one after the main purchase. That one should be the WordPress theme. What that basically is, Rhonda, I can kind of show you because I do have that theme. That theme allows you to have the same look to your website that on a WordPress website that you have with Fresh Store Builder. So if you wanted to use both WordPress and Fresh Store Builder together on the same domain name and have those websites appear integrated to where nobody really that's visiting your site would really know that part of it's on WordPress and part of it's on Fresh Store Builder, that theme gives you the same look, essentially. It does have an extra plugin that goes along with it, I believe, which will pull these products like what you see in the sidebar here. It pulls this information from the Fresh Store Builder site. So there are some extra little features like that, but in my opinion, the main reason you would want that $67 upsell is to be able to integrate a WordPress site and a Fresh Store Builder site together so they can sit on the same domain and look the same. That way you might, for example, like what June was mentioning before, if you want to convert a WordPress site to a Fresh Store Builder site, you could just use your existing WordPress site and use this theme to go with it, and then set everything else new up on the Fresh Store Builder end and just leave everything as it was to begin with. Yeah, Alice, that's certainly doable as well. You can use your own WordPress theme if you want to, if you don't care if it has the same look. And you can also use the store as a subdomain too. Rhonda, you don't need to use WordPress and Fresh Store Builder together. There are some people that simply prefer to for one reason or another. They might be really comfortable with the WordPress system already. They might have certain software titles that they've purchased, plugins or themes, for example, for WordPress that they do want to keep using, but they also still want to be able to use Fresh Store Builder too. So they might want to kind of have their pick of favorite features from each of those different titles and combine it together into one cohesive website. Other reasons are, if you have an existing site already and you want to build onto it, but using Fresh Store Builder, you can do that. Other people might prefer to use WordPress to create the informational content on their site and to just use Fresh Store Builder to focus on the product review pages, where it definitely has an advantage in terms of generating that content, helping you to create those pages faster. In my training bonus, Nellie, I teach you to use straight Fresh Store Builder to build your website. I figure most people already have decent knowledge of WordPress, and since Fresh Store Builder is separate from it, I wanted to definitely keep the focus on it. And so, yes, I do teach how to build the site using the Fresh Store Builder system. Integrating it in with your normal website, though, is really as simple as linking up your pages. For example, when in WordPress, this is a WordPress site here, I just set up a menu, and some of these menu links point to the Fresh Store Builder section of my website. So like this one here, Molds and Supplies, points to the store subdirectory, and that store subdirectory is where Fresh Store Builder is installed, whereas the main domain is where WordPress is installed. So the integration is as simple as just linking those two sections of your website together. June, I believe Fresh Store Builder does have that capability to convert your Amazon links into a link using your website URL. It'd basically be link cloaking. To a certain extent, that is kind of gray area as an Amazon affiliate, though. They do have some language in their affiliate agreement that says affiliates shouldn't be cloaking links. They really don't want you to be hiding your Amazon affiliate link. Just to mention that to you. But I do believe that Fresh Store Builder does still have that feature in it. Well, I believe I have answered everybody's questions. Let me take a quick scan back through just to be sure. Joseph asked, did I talk about using a blog with our Fresh Store Builder site? That's kind of the WordPress and the Fresh Store Builder integration end of it. If you wanted to have more of a standard blog to go along with the products that you promote, if that blog is your informational content, some people would much prefer to use the WordPress system to do the blogging. In a lot of ways, though, what I teach in my Fresh Store Builder training is still kind of the same thing. My blog section of the site, though, is really in the informational content with my information and tutorials here, the special occasions that I talk about and I go into detail on all this, obviously, in my training class. Thank you, Hara. Sorry, obviously, I guess I must have missed that question of yours before. Does Fresh Store Builder work with AliExpress and Walmart? It does not automatically connect up to it in terms of being able to search for your products. Like if I go to find products here and I'm searching for products, this is only going to pull up Amazon products for me. With that said, though, the custom pages that you create on your website, the informational articles, or even the product review pages, if you wanted to, you could certainly include Walmart or AliExpress affiliate links in Fresh Store Builder. That would certainly work. However, it's not integrated to actually pull those product results for you. So yes, it'll work, but no, it's not integrated. I want to make a last call for questions here, guys. Just in case I have missed anything that you may have asked me already. If you wouldn't mind punching it in for me again. I believe I have covered everything that has been asked so far, though. Rhonda's asking, am I an affiliate for products that I sell with Fresh Store Builder, or do I actually buy the products? It's an affiliate, Rhonda. You don't have to buy the products or anything. You promote them as an affiliate, and no upfront cost or anything like that to get involved with doing those affiliate promotions. And then when you refer a sale, then you get paid your commission as a percentage of the total sale amount. So it's a pretty low risk way of being involved in the e-commerce industry, and also pretty hands-off. I've done e-commerce as a vendor before, and then obviously I do e-commerce as an affiliate. E-commerce as a vendor, while the money can be pretty good, it is incredibly stressful and it requires a lot of hands-on physical labor to constantly packaging things up and making trips to the post office like every single day, unless you want to pay even more of what might be your profits to get them to pick stuff up for you. Joseph is asking, do I have any tips on applying to the Amazon affiliate program? Yes, I do, Joseph. Number one is make your website first, minus your Amazon ads. So, for example, if you're not an Amazon affiliate right now and you're thinking about buying Fresh Store Builder and going through my training and creating a site using it, go through and build the entire website out minus the pages for your products, the product review pages. So this whole section of my website here, molds and supplies, I wouldn't create this section. So I would create my home page, my main category pages, all my informational content, and then I would pause and submit my application to be an Amazon affiliate. Beyond that, though, as far as answering individual questions on that affiliate application, I have gone into those in more detail in the past. Let me look real quick and see if I can find a video of mine I could point you to. While I'm looking that up, I'll go ahead and talk about the next one that you were asking. Is it good practice to use SSL certificates? Personally, I don't think you have to have an SSL certificate for all of your websites. It's really more, oh, you gotta be kidding me. You guys hear me right now? I think I lost connection again. Bernie just got version 6 through my link last year. He said if you wanted to get an upgrade to version 7, you have to buy the yearly premium service for $47. And so he said it seemed better to just buy version 7 now through my link, which he did. So thank you, Bernie. Appreciate that. And thank you for the extra information there as well. It does seem like that yearly price, $47 a year, it's basically what they charge for the software itself. So, and unfortunately, I guess the yearly premium service people are actually having to wait till the end of this month to be able to download it. So there's kind of even a negative to that, it seems. Hara is asking, does Amazon mind about promoting products from other sources on the same site or the same page? I do that myself, not to an overwhelming extent, but if I have a reason to do so, if I can't find a product on Amazon that I really want to be promoting because it fits with my website, or maybe it's a new popular product that has just hit the market or something, but it's not on Amazon yet, I have gone elsewhere and put up affiliate ads, say, for example, off of Commission Junction to promote a product on the same site that also promotes Amazon products. I've never personally had an issue doing that. With that said, though, I also couldn't say 100% for sure whether Amazon would have an issue with maybe approving an affiliate that they thought might be doing that. When you apply as an affiliate, at least, I would certainly say that, Amazon's your only source of advertising. You could decide at a later point in time to add in extra ads. But to start with, I'd recommend sticking with Amazon exclusively. Further down the line, or if you have a really good reason to want to go for something outside of Amazon and it makes good sense for your website, then it's certainly okay to put it in there. I don't think they can do anything for you trying to create a more useful, helpful website for people. Ultimately, Amazon wants their affiliates to have quality websites like that too. So while I can't say with 100% confidence that it would be fine, I'm pretty sure about it. Sadie is asking recommended hosting company. I recommend HostGator still slightly reluctantly. While I do use HostGator exclusively for my web hosting these days, I have both shared accounts and dedicated servers with them. So I'm not necessarily the average customer, I guess. All of you would want to end up getting just a shared hosting account to build Amazon affiliate sites on. There's no need for a really expensive dedicated server for something like that. The reason why I say reluctantly recommending them is because their customer support's just not what it used to be. But I do still feel like their servers are very fast and efficient and affordable, and so I do still continue to use them. I still use, even though I have dedicated servers, I still use shared hosting accounts for my Amazon affiliate sites. And I'll put about 20, 30 websites or so on each of those shared accounts. They can handle a decent amount, but you also don't want to completely overload them either. Joseph, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy this chat. I don't necessarily do Fresh Store Builder or e-commerce webinars on a regular basis. I do Amazon webinars on a regular basis. I run an Amazon membership site, teamazonpro.com, where I do new monthly training there and also do a live webinar once a month. Beyond that, though, I might do a couple of live Amazon coaching series each year or so. I do have another one called Amazon Overhaul starting Tuesday, January the 12th. I'll be promoting that again starting this coming weekend. So while I don't do specifically Fresh Store Builder very frequently, once a year I'll cover Fresh Store Builder usually as a new version is released. Beyond that, though, I do mostly general Amazon affiliate type of webinars on a regular basis. Well, I thank you all for coming out and joining me for my live training on Fresh Store Builder. I really hope you have taken something valuable away from my training, and also hope that you decide to give Fresh Store Builder a chance and work through my training to build complete websites with it, obviously with a focus on the quality of those websites. You're quite welcome. Thank you, Karen, Hara, Joseph. You are all welcome. Kai as well. I'm glad you all enjoy it. Once again, the replay will be posted up in about 2 hours or so, guys, on the bottom of this page here if you didn't catch all of today's class and you would like to rewatch it. You're very welcome. Mark, Alice, June, glad you enjoyed it. And thank you for being here, everyone. Hope all of you have a wonderful day and good luck with Fresh Store Builder, and hope you enjoy my training.